JMeter has been installed and launched. This is the thread group where the number of threads is given as 10 to run 10 different portfolios. The details of 10 different portfolios are mentioned in the user parameters. Chrome driver is a config element coming from the WebDriver plugin added to our plugin manager in JMeter. The Chrome driver's path is given here, and the checkbox can be used for the Chrome's headed and headless mode. This is a WebDriver sampler where we can write a code to do the actions to launch the page. The required parameters for loading the page is given here, the URL, user and DOM element. Now we are logging into the PRM application, loading the portfolio URL, asserting on the visible DOM element after the page is loaded. These are different listeners to view the results of the execution. Duration assertion is an assertion file where we have mentioned the duration to be asserted on, where the value is coming from the user parameters. Now let's start the execution of this portfolio duration check by clicking on the start button here. Let's override the existing file. Now we can see like 10 threads has been started for 10 different portfolios. Each thread will launch a browser and the portfolio URLs will be loaded in them. The portfolio is getting loaded. Now we have executed the portfolio duration check test plan. We can see this listener view results tree, which shows the list of past and failed portfolios. The ones in green are the past ones, the ones in red are the failed ones. Here the failure is due to the duration assertion failure. Expected is 5 seconds, wherein it took 30 seconds for the page to load, hence the failure. Assertion results is another listener which gives the details of the error messages. The report can be exported as a CSV. Aggregate graph is another listener which gives the summary of multiple executions. For this sample execution, we see the details of all the portfolios, the average values, median, minimum, maximum, error percentage, throughput, values like these. We can plot a graph against a selected value. Now we are plotting a graph against the median values of all the portfolios. This is the graph. Now let's do a load testing on the PRM application's new add work feature. Create new work is a thread group where the number of threads or users is 10. Login details will be the user credentials, Chrome driver, and this is where the code to log in to the PRM application and creating new work is written. View results tree will be the listener where the execution results will be stored, and this can be exported to a JTL file, a result file. Now this time let's do the execution from the command line option. Navigate to the bin path under the Apache JMeter's installation folder. Run this command. jmeter.bat-n represents the non-GUI mode and -t represents the test plan file. Create new work.jmx. We can see 10 instances of Chrome browser are being launched, one per thread. Now we see that the users are logging into the PRM application and the new work is getting created concurrently. Now we see that the execution has completed for creating 10 different work by 10 different users. Now we can also export these results into a HTML report. -g represents the report generation option on this particular result file that was exported on the previous run. -o represents the output folder where the HTML report has to be generated. Now we can see that the dashboard folder has been created. Inside that there is a HTML report which holds the results of the execution. Now we see that for 10 users, 10 different work has been created and the time taken for each of them has been shown here.